Maddie from Hello Interloper here to bring you the latest in the Blood Brothers universe. Today, World Battle Coliseum has started. This is the fourth incarnation of the event, and there are some significant changes that have been brought over, but for the most part, it is kind of the same as the last one, World Battle Coliseum number 3. I'll be going over these changes and showing you the new familiars that have been added pretty shortly. But first, I'll go over the main changes of this event. Last time, it was reduced to 2 teams fighting each other, and that's still the same in this World Battle Coliseum. There are 2 keeps, your keep and the enemy keep, and pretty much you can defend your keep from the invader or take over the enemy keep for points. Either one gives you points, of course. But there has been something that has been introduced, and that is called the bridge. The bridge is located in this area of the map, and having the bridge actually gives you an advantage over the enemy team. Let's say you do not actually hold the bridge. The enemy team holds the bridge. They get a defense boost. And so, if you attack the enemy keep while they hold the bridge, every time you get into a PvP battle with them, they will have a defense boost, which, of course, can be really deadly when fighting certain people, especially, when you have a large kill streak and are fighting people of a really high caliber. That can be pretty tough. So, you want to attack the enemy keep while you own the bridge. Of course, the bridge is highly contended, so it always changes hands, sometimes while you are actually attacking the keep. So, thankfully, you can switch maps in between different little campaigns. So, who knows if switching will be the way how to win this, switch out every time the bridge is lost, or you could of course just keep defending. And of course if you own the bridge, that means you get a defense boost when the enemy attacks you. So either way, the bridge is good. The bridge helps you attack better by getting their defense boost away, and also gives you the defense boost when you're attacked. So that's pretty much all you have to know about the changes here. Of course, they're having a few changes to the elites. In the past World Battle Coliseums, there were 2 elites that were rares that evolve into epics. This time there's only 1 rare that evolves into an epic. The lesser one is an uncommon that evolves into a rare. The uncommon is called Goblin Cannoneer, and the rare that evolves into an epic is Gazal Crystal Archer. And what's kind of interesting is it seems that the Blood Brothers admins, creators, developers, that's the word I'm looking for, they seem to have introduced a new race, and this race appears to be a dog-like race, which makes sense because we do have a cat race that has been used quite often. I'll quickly zoom into here. Oh, actually, that's not much of a zoom in. But basically, it looks like a terrier type of mage, which is kind of interesting, even though they're an archer, they're kind of dressed up the way you would expect a mage to be. But let's open up these elites. The elites, of course, give heightened stats, as seen in the last picture. Goblin Cannoneer, here he is. Not very impressive in his first evolution, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's his first evolution, not supposed to be very impressive. But we do see a more steady stat progression. In the past, the elites that were introduced in the World Battle Coliseum event had very strange stat progression. They would only go up a little bit from base to max. We're seeing a lot more consistent stat gain now as you level. Now, the Goblin Bombardier 2, which is the final evolution, its perfect evolution stats are really low. Nothing is over 7.8k, which is, of course, its attack, but it has a fairly low defense of 4k. However, it does have a multiplier, as you can see, of 2 times, so if you were to multiply all those stats by 2, it's, of course, a lot better. Of course, then there's also 2 times might, not just damage done, so that's kind of interesting. But pretty much after this event is over, the Goblin Cannoneer is going to be fairly worthless. Now, meanwhile, Gazal Crystal Archer, the doggy, let me open him up. Unfortunately, we don't have max stats up at the moment, but you can see he's kind of a big-headed terrier with his tongue sticking out, which is kind of funny. But Gazelle Emerald Arrow is the final evolution, and the perfect evolution stats are a lot better than the other one. You can see it has a very high agi, low HP and defense, but it has a new skill called Magic Arrow, which I will go over. It's a wisdom-based attack, which is kind of curious because he has very high agility, but it deals heavy wisdom-based damage to 2 foes. If I go back here, show you, he has 11.8k wisdom if he's perfectly evolved. So that's actually pretty good if you take into account it's a 200 times multiplier. So basically instant kill for 2 different guys. And then of course not instant kill for everybody, but for most familiars it will instantly kill. And of course you can see it is a 3 times might multiplier with a max attack of 27k. Its attack isn't its main stat, so you can just imagine the wisdom multiplied by 3 times. Pretty nice. And thankfully, because the stats are relatively high, above 10k for the wisdom, 11.8k perfectly evolved, it probably will still be fairly desirable after this event. Now, of course, there are the daily rewards. The daily reward is DeNA Crystal Swordsman, but quickly I will go back to Goblin Cannoneer because I forgot to go over its skill, which I'll do now. It's called Bombard, which, as far as I know, is new. Yes, it is. And it attacks 3 random foes in the rear ranks. It's a 150 times attack multiplier. So, new, not exactly the best, but could possibly be useful during this event. Then let's go to DeNA Crystal Swordsman. He's an orc, so that's fairly interesting. Of course, we don't have any stats since, unfortunately, a day hasn't passed yet. Nobody's gotten the daily rewards, but a estimated max is here. It has high agility, fairly high attack, low defense, wisdom, and HP. Of course, this will be smaller. This is smaller than the perfect evolution, so we don't know what the perfect evolution is just yet. It has Veil of Protection, which unfortunately the wiki does not have information on at the moment. I'm not sure if they did mention it on Blood Brothers itself. I'll open that up while I quickly show you guys the other rewards. But, here, one second. Blood Brothers is loading here. But if I do remember correctly, it does something protect somebody to the right or something, or was that the Crystal Trollmaster? I'll check in a moment. But Gevi Crystal Trollmaster will be the legendary for ranking rewards, and rather interesting. Even though we technically see 2 familiars in this, it does not have 2 abilities. I guess probably because it's not a mounted familiar. And unfortunately, I don't think we have stats here, do we? We have max stats, which is, of course, below perfect evolution. But we see a very high wisdom, low agility, about 14k HP, 13.4k attack, wisdom 12k, and the skills proxy counter, if I remember correctly, this is the one that hits back to the right. Yeah, here we go. Counter when the familiar to the right is hit, and it's a 50% probability when fully maxed. So that's rather interesting, although it seems that it's a counter, which means that it would do the same amount of damage that was taken. It doesn't have a multiplier or anything, at least from what we see so far. And then, of course, the rare, which is given for 400,000 points, also for ranking rewards as low as 40,000 in ranking, you get 1. And it's kind of interesting that also 14,000 gets 1. I guess the difference between those two is that 5,501 to 14,000 gets an extra crystal set and 2 extra silver coins. They both get 1 of these rares. And she has a new skill called Freezing Rain. I'll show you that in a moment, but let me quickly check her evolution here. Last evolution, see if they have... no, just an estimate. No perfect evolution stats, unfortunately, but you can expect these to be higher for a perfect evolution. Rather high HP, attack, wisdom, low defense, which we're seeing a lot here. And it's kind of interesting if you see her final evolution. She has 2 different color eyes, which is interesting. She's called Sapphire Talons, though, which is strange because sapphires are blue. We don't really see any blue gems, and her nails are actually purple, so a little bit confusing there. Now, Freezing Rain, or sorry, Freezing Pain, got mixed up there, is also a new skill. 170% wisdom modifier, so kind of equal to Ice Fist, but a wisdom-based version, and deals heavy ice damage to 3 foes in any position. So basically, it is like Ice Fist, but with wisdom. Kind of interesting to see that. Now, I'm trying to see on here, on the game itself, if I can find the skill of the daily reward, but it doesn't seem like it's on the main page. Checking the other page. Sorry, this is something I should probably have checked before. But, oh, here we go. It has Veil Protection, which we've seen earlier on the page that I showed you. Let me open him up. This is Badringo, Crystal Swordsman I'm talking about. But yes, he has Veil Protection, which reduces magic damage taken by self and nearby allies. I think that the wording might be a little confusing. By nearby, I'm sure they probably mean adjacent, meaning to the left and the right. But, you know, it just could be an inconsistency in wording. I don't think it would actually do it for all allies, unless it has a chance to do 2 allies away by a smaller chance or something. We'll have to see how that behaves once a day passes and people actually get daily rewards. So that's kind of up in the air at the moment. But other than that, there really isn't anything else you need to know about the event. Just the fact that you will unfortunately have to face a defense boost if your team does not control the bridge, which is located here. So make sure you watch control of the bridge during this, and if you no longer control the bridge, either wait until you do, or you can switch out and help fight for the bridge. Of course, if you are defending your keep, you don't have to worry about control of the bridge or not, because either way, you'll be having the same sort of power, as far as I know. I have not defended the keep yet. I don't know if the enemy's defense boost actually applies to enemies you fight in your keep itself. But either way, it seems that the bridge is kind of the main focal point of this all, because it does give a nice defense boost. And when I did fight enemies in the enemy keep when they had the defense boost, they were pretty much unbeatable. I wasn't even at a 3-kill streak when I was fighting somebody with a defense boost, and I still was absolutely decimated just because I was not doing the right amount of damage. So anyway, good luck everybody, and hopefully this World Battle Coliseum won't see any more morale bugs or anything. A lot of people were saying in the last one they would use morale and then have it go away because control of a keep was relinquished in the middle of a battle. Hopefully we won't see any of those problems. Of course, if there are those kind of problems, feel free to sound off in the comments to warn your fellow players, and good luck everyone. Until next time.